I'm Amy the Bunny Lady, and this is my partner Elusive, Ellie for short. High five. Good job. And today we're going to talk about what you can do to keep your rabbit quiet when you're sleeping at night. If you are new to our channel, welcome. We give tips and tricks for how to make sure you have a happy and healthy bunny in your home. So if that's the kind of thing you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscription button and the notification bell next to it so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. The most important thing you can do to prevent your rabbit from making a whole lot of noise in the middle of the night is actually to keep a very consistent morning routine. So what this does is, if you feed your rabbit at the same time every morning, say you get up at 7 and feed your rabbit at 7 every morning, that will get your rabbit to start kind of adapting to the schedule. They'll start to understand when it's time to get up, pretty much. Your rabbit will kind of learn what your routine is and start to adapt to it. Their routine will start to match yours. So if you get up at the same time to feed your rabbit every morning, they'll start to expect you to get up at that time and feed them every morning. If you don't have a routine, they might just start getting excited at random times because, they feel like they're kind of being fed randomly. Whereas if you make it a very specific routine, you get up at 7 and you feed them, they start to get excited and active right before that time. So maybe around 6:30, 6:45, you'll start to notice your rabbit starting to get active. So instead of it being in the middle of the night, it'll be right before you get up, and they act more like an alarm clock so that they make sure that you get up in the morning. Another thing that you can do is to make sure that your rabbit has a lot of space in their enclosure or whatever their area is during the nighttime. So rabbits are most active in the morning hours, like dawn and the dusk hours. They'll be sleeping in the middle of the night and they'll be sleeping in the middle of the afternoon. So this means that they're going to naturally be a little bit active even when we're still sleeping. But to keep them from making noise and rattling on the bars of their enclosure, or just in general trying to get your attention, you want to make sure that they have enough space so that they don't feel frustrated during this time, because you can't expect your rabbit to completely match your sleep schedule, but you can make sure that they don't get frustrated when they want to be active and you want to be sleeping. Giving them a very large enclosure, just increasing the space as much as you can, is going to make them a lot more likely to be quieter when you're not there to play with them. You can even go as far as to free roam your rabbit, which would end up giving them the entire room of space rather than just giving them a small enclosure. If you need to supervise them while they're out, try to give them as large an enclosure as possible. I recommend using the pet playpens. I'll give you a link in the description to what those are, but they're basically a fencing instead of a cage. They provide your rabbit with a lot more space. They're more versatile in where they can be placed, rather than these small cages that are marketed as rabbit cages. I generally don't recommend those. So go for the playpens instead so that your rabbit has more space. There's a behavioral intervention. You can start to discourage a rabbit that's thumping for attention. So rabbits will thump for many reasons. One, they'll thump because they're scared. Two, they can thump because as like a warning, because they're angry and they're thumping to scare someone off. But rabbits can learn to thump for attention. So they'll learn that if they thump loudly enough, if they thump frequently enough, then you'll end up coming and paying attention to them. Rabbits are very social animals, so they like getting attention. So if they learn that if they thump, they can get your attention, they'll start doing that in the middle of the night when they get bored. So if that's something that they're doing, you will have to basically discourage that kind of behavior when they're thumping to get your attention, even during the day, even when you can pay attention to them. You have to ignore them and wait till they're not thumping anymore to then go pay attention to them. Because if you go and give them attention right away when they're making all that noise, then that will reinforce the behavior so that they'll start doing that in the middle of the night or whenever they want your attention. You do want to make sure you give your rabbit lots and lots of attention, because that's much better for their mental health and socialization. But you can wait until they stop thumping and then give them that attention, so that you aren't reinforcing a bad behavior. Another thing that you can do is give your rabbit quiet toys inside of their enclosure. So you can give them all the louder toys during the day and then give them the quieter ones at night. This will end up giving them activities that they can do so that they don't get bored, but it won't be so loud that it's waking you up all the time. Some rabbits are able to be loud with different types of toys. Like some rabbits will be quite loud if you give them a cardboard box, whereas others will not be. So you do kind of have to make this decision on which toys are quiet toys and which ones are loud toys based on your own rabbit's behavior. But in general, ones that are quieter toys are going to be like hay-based toys, potentially cardboard tubes or hanging toys. Things like that tend to be a little bit better for keeping your rabbit quiet. But of course, if a particular toy is one that your rabbit plays with and it makes a lot of rattling sounds, or it rattles against the sides of their enclosure and makes a lot of noise, things like that can end up I love you. Things like that, you can end up rotating the toys so that they have their daytime toys and their nighttime toys. And then another thing you can do is to make sure your rabbit gets a lot of exercise right before bedtime. So this will ensure that your rabbit uses a majority of their energy, learns to get excited right before bed. You have your morning routine to get them excited in the morning, and this will mean during the night they'll be less likely to be high energy because they have those high energy times at night and in the morning. You want to make sure that they get exercise time out of their enclosure in the hour or two before your bedtime. And then what you can do is give your rabbit a training session right before you're going to go to sleep. This way your rabbit can get really excited and really happy, but then they'll calm down right when you are ready to go to bed because they had that high energy moment. Now, some rabbits are still going to be pretty stubborn. They're just going to be louder than you might like. I mean, in general, rabbits are quiet pets, but they do have ways of thumping, of rattling the bars that can make them a little bit noisy. So there are also other tactics you can take, like you can use earplugs or headphones at night to maybe listen to other sounds. You can put white noise on that actually, a white noise, like a little machine thing, can do wonders for keeping your brain from hearing the rabbit sounds. You can also make sure your rabbits have very soft flooring so that they can't, that you don't hear the pitter-patter of their feet as much. You can make other environmental changes that keep your rabbit's noises from being distracting, in addition to, trying to teach your rabbit and encourage your rabbit to just be quieter too. Don't forget to check out my merch shop for t-shirts, mugs, tank tops, sweatshirts, a whole bunch of stuff, stickers, bags, and I'll put the link in the description for you if you want a bunch of my cute designs, my funny bunny t-shirts. Check them out. Thank you so much for watching, and I do hope that we will see you next time.